Hi, George here for Whiskey Wednesday. Got my friend MJ here. We're going to be talking about this awesome little red-headed bottle of Irish whiskey. It is Redbreast 12 year from Middleton Distillery in Cork, Ireland, and it is frickin' awesome. It is, without a doubt, one of the best Irish whiskeys on the market. Before we get too much into it though, if you notice our glasses here.
Yeah, I'm going to be drinking mine with Whiskey Rocks. It's a great way to enjoy your beverage of choice without diluting it at all. There's a couple different ways that you can go. There's stainless steel Whiskey Rocks, and there's also the classic granite ones, which I'm going to be using today.
One little thing about the stainless steel ones, they do work great. My only issue is they get a little slick and they'll slip, and I've had them hit me in the teeth, and that does not feel good.
Yeah, it's a bad day.
So I would personally recommend the actual stones. All right, let's take a look at the whiskey. Sometimes we rush right through, jump right into the nose, start drinking it. Don't take time to appreciate the art that is whiskey. Look at the color on this. It's real beautiful amber. Kind of makes me think of Jurassic Park with a little mosquito thing. Hey, that's what it makes me think of. What do you think of the color there?
It's just a very nice light golden color. I mean, it's obviously prevalent from the oak barrel aging, but it's not something that's been aged for an overly long period of time, so it's got a very light finish to it.
That indeed it does. Real quick little side tangent before we get too far into things. There's two ways that a whiskey gets its color. One of them being the natural route of being aged for extended periods of time. Well, any aging really. Brings the longer the age, the deeper the color. Or a distillery will cheat and use caramel coloring.
Unacceptable.
Absolutely unacceptable. So if you're looking for a bottle of whiskey, it's something new that you haven't had before, and you see a green bottle. The green bottle is quite frankly a mask for a lighter color whiskey. So instead of the distillery deciding to horribly bastardize the product with caramel coloring, they'll put it in the green bottle as to not deter you from being a little lighter in color than other whiskeys. That's a good thing. Don't be afraid of a lighter whiskey, because they can still be absolutely fantastic. Now enough of that little side tangent. Let's get to the bottom. Well, let's get to the
whiskey.
Get to the whiskey. I'm up front getting a lot of like spicy, youthful orchard fruits, like a Granny Smith apple.
Yeah, I get a lot of that also. What I find when I smell this is a lot of mossy aroma, but I also get a lot of caramel and some smokiness. Obviously from the oak.
Yeah, he's definitely getting a little of the hints of peatiness. I don't pick up on it as much for a couple of reasons. One, because it's very well balanced in there. It does fit perfectly in with the other wonderful aromas, especially with the smoky oak notes. But also, I'm not a huge fan of peat, so when there's a slight hint of it and it's not overbearing, I will kind of ignore it, because overly peated whiskeys really bother me. So I ignore peat. I don't know why.
Yeah, this isn't super peaty. It's a very natural kind of woodsy aroma that you get with it.
Great way to put it. Let's see how it tastes. Definitely carries through a lot of what you get on the nose. Up front, it's like a real quick hit of, like I said, Granny Smith apples. For some reason, it really makes me think of walking through an apple orchard here in New York. Don't know why, but it gets that same green apple, orchard fruit, maltiness that something like Glenfiddich 12 year has. It really reminds me of that a lot.
Yeah, the first thing that I notice when I drink it is just how smooth the mouthfeel is. It's very silky, it's very smooth, very velvety. Initially up front, just like George says, I get a lot of that kind of tart green apple sweetness. And then it kind of moves, as it moves back through your mouth, a lot of cherry flavor. Then you kind of get that nice spicy, good whiskey flavor, and then as it finishes, it's very sweet, and that's something that I really like about this whiskey is that really sweet, smooth finish that you just don't find that often.
Right, I completely agree with that. And like you said, it goes right up front with that tart, that sweet tart, appley punch. It rounds out to a little black cherry, oak, smokiness, which does balance out the sweetness. I wouldn't call the black cherry super sweet. It's just very round and robust. And then it does get back into the oak and the vanilla from the oak, which sweetens it up again. And then when you get towards the finish, it gets very satisfying. How would you describe it?
Yeah, it kind of leaves you wanting more. I mean, that's kind of the best way to put it.
Definitely.
Something that I also really like about this whiskey is it doesn't have that really acidic alcoholic burn to it. It's very, very well rounded and masks it really well, especially for, it's an 80 proof, so pretty standard for a whiskey as far as alcohol content goes, but it really hides it well.
It definitely does. It's a very comfortable, I wouldn't call it a light finish. It's a very gentle finish. It melts away. It doesn't have that slow moving steamroller effect. It very smoothly, very softly melts away.
Just kind of tapers
off towards the end there. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting because this whiskey, unlike a lot of other whiskeys out there, what you get on the nose is very complex, yet you still taste everything without it's not, I wouldn't call it simple in the fact that it's not different on each stage of the game. It's very well made, very consistent, easy drinking, high quality stuff.
Absolutely.
All that being said, all in all, I'd have to say I'd give this a 92 for an Irish whiskey. 92 out of 100. It's very hard for something to break a 90 with me. So this is an outstanding bottle.
Yeah, I agree a lot with everything George said. If you're somebody that's just has only experienced Irish whiskey in the form of Jameson, whether it's the regular Jameson or the Jameson 12 year, this really blows it out of the water. It's so much more of a higher quality. If you're somebody who enjoys Jameson or enjoys Irish whiskey and hasn't tried the Redbreast, it's an absolute must. As far as a score goes, I'm more of a rye whiskey drinker, so Irish whiskeys are at the top of my list. But regardless, I would still score this with a 90.
That's definitely a fair and respectable mark from you too.
Absolutely.
Well, I have to say, a whiskey this good, I think it's time for us to turn off the camera and possibly finish the bottle. So, happy Whiskey Wednesday.
Cheers.